So what are we knowing? In the quantum realm, there's no duality. Energy is energy, and then there's energy that looks like matter. So we're going to be with this concept of being the frequency receiver. You're doing an extraordinary work. We talk about dimensions, right? What is, Chris asked me, he said, what dimensions? And I know you know, but we'll go over it.
Yeah, just like to articulate it a little more because it's so abstract, you know?
Sure.
Like dimensions. Like,
well, that's what we're going to start to get into, is we're going to get into this more kind of, I think if you're catching my drift, now I think we can get a little bit more specific, because when I used to talk about this stuff, people would think, how do I apply it? And it's a good question. How do I do this? How do I do this? We have to get into the body. We have to get into the body through movement, yoga, tai chi, qigong. We have to eat higher frequency foods. I mean, you've got to be with the parts and recognize when it's flowing, and we have to be with when it isn't flowing. These are, when it's not flowing and you catch it, I do expect you, even though it's a painful situation, I expect you to be pleased with yourselves now. There it is. Don't confuse beating yourself up and not taking accountability. I do not work, that's a strong statement. Yeah, no, it's true. From a loving perspective. I do not work with people who aren't willing to be curious about this perspective. I take 100% accountability for my reality. Listen to the definition I just gave you. You're looking at matter and you're pulling it back through the illusion of your perception, which is the state of your consciousness. Of course you're 100% accountable. If you're going to beat yourself up for what's going on, you're going to stay in the third dimension. I'm going to get real specific about this. So the dimensions are just states of consciousness. What do we know about the third dimension? The third dimension is where there's money, there's time, and there's this illusion of separateness. So we're always thinking that if we get the right stuff, if the body feels better, if we got the right partner, if we've got the right job, then things will be okay. And again, I remind you, having the stuff that you want is lovely, and you will get it, but it is not the source of your well-being. Then we get into the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is where all of you guys are. Congratulations. Most people on planet Earth aren't here. They know that there's something more. You know that there's something more. When we get to the fifth dimension is there is no separation. We're all one, and you are God. And in the fifth dimension, there's no time, guys. There's no time. And in the fifth dimension, you know the power of your thoughts. You don't study it. You don't think about it. You know it. You know that once you have a thought, in the vibrational reality of your toric, torus, whatever you call it, field, it's done. Now, what we have to do is we have to become the frequency receiver to receive it. If there's a piece of you that understands this, if you understand this, and you're not receiving what you want, and you're getting frustrated, you're getting angry, you're blaming yourself, you're blaming others, you're thinking you're doing something wrong, it will not raise your frequency, and you will not move. Why? It's not because the universe or your higher self is a jerk. It's because we're talking physics. The only way the new matter through expanded consciousness comes into your vortex is because you are expanding your consciousness, and if you're thinking you're doing something wrong, or this thing isn't going fast enough, or this circumstance of contrast comes into your vortex and you better figure it out fast, I can guarantee it will not come. Parts will come. Parts will come. But it won't be that enjoyable, and it won't be that fun. And you know my motto. You've got to have fun. I mean fun in the most contrasting moments of your life. The other part that we have to be with is, this is why I'm creating the groups, this is why we're expanding, is because I want you to be around other people that are considering this information, and you're all doing it in your own ways, and that's how you contribute lovely to the collective consciousness, because all of you have people in your lives that are going to try and talk you out of this. I cannot tell you, even people who I work with, as they start to study this, they get tripped up and they're like, it almost feels like a cult. And I said, well, you'll have to make your own decision on that. If you feel this is a cult, then you'll have to make your own decision on that. But I don't think cults say you can't get anything wrong and you get to do what you want, and if you don't want to participate, you don't have to participate, and there are no rules. I don't think that's what a cult is.
This is a cult. This is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, sister.
If it's a cult, it's a good one.
So just be with that. But you will have people in your vortex, because what we're going to get into is extraordinary stuff. I am literally saying to you, when you move into your body, your toric field, let's say, expands. Words are going to kind of fail me here because I don't really mean this, but we'll go with it now. When you move into the body, the toric field expands. When the toric or the torus field expands, new matter comes in. All I'm saying to you is that the third dimensional ways of saving money, of finding a partner, of being with your children, of being with your body, they're not wrong. They are incomplete. So what we're talking about is being with the higher energy. And you're not going to think your way into this. You're going to be the frequency receiver. How do we become the frequency receiver? We do the rituals that we've talked about. And guys, there's many more, but I've started out with the 3. The other parts of being the higher frequency receiver is we have to have fun. Another part of it is genuine gratitude, not a positive mental attitude. You know how I feel about that, right? Does everybody know this? I love a positive mental attitude. Who's going to complain about a positive mental attitude? If you think it's going to get you what we're talking about, it will destroy you. You must be with the contrast. You must be with the contrast. Make sense?